Bienvenue at ChangeNOW and welcome to another round of exciting pitches, this time in the field of circular economy. Now in the morning we focused on things such as water, food, education, the essentials, and we got them all covered through very innovative ideas that we heard all throughout the day. But we all know that there's something surrounding all of us humans every day, and that is our economies. And questions arise in how we can make them regenerative, sustainable, and circular as well. So it is with great pleasure that I welcome you here to this session, and I look forward personally and professionally to a wonderful firework of great ideas. This session is in partnership with JCDecaux, and we have the pleasure of having Lenaïque with us, who is going to tell us a bit more about herself and the company and why this partnership. Please join me on stage.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Lenaïque Pinault. I'm Sustainable Development and Quality Director within JCDecaux. I'm very glad to be here today because sustainability has always been part of our DNA, but mostly circular economy. For years, we have been working on some new bus shelters, and now we have a brand new innovation, and we have succeeded to reuse waste and to develop a new bus shelter made from circular economy, thanks to circular economy. And we can reduce by 65% our carbon emission. So it's not only ecological, it's logical. And now we should all work on this, all work on embedding circular economy into our business model. It's a great opportunity, not only a challenge, but a great way to renew our business model. So we are very proud to be here today. And thank you, and let's get inspired.
Thank you. Thank you, Lenaïque. It's great to have you, and thank you for the partnership. All right, before we move to the pitches, I have another duty to fulfill, which is a big pleasure, which is to introduce you, the wonderful jury of experts who are going to ask away a lot of questions after the pitches. Let's do this super short and sweet, maybe 20 seconds each, your name and who you represent, and we'll start on my left.
Hi everyone, very glad to be here. I'm representing Telos Impact. We are a multi-family office from Belgium that invests in different impact sectors like food and ag, circular economy and water. We are a €100 million fund, and we invest tickets of around €4 to €5 million.
Wonderful, thank you. Please.
Hello, Sonia Artillon-Fredou. I'm the CEO of Fine Climate. Fine Climate is a de-risking scale-up of green tech, and we are an accelerator organization dedicated to hardware green tech.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Kevin Chen. I'm consulting director at Circular. At Circular, our role is to accelerate the transition to circular economy, and to that we accompany startups, cities, and so on, and big corporates through trainings and raising awareness, community, and consulting activities. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, Frederic, JCDecaux that Lenaïque just introduced. I am head of Open Innovation. Hello the team within the User Innovation Department, sourcing the best solutions to address major challenges.
Wonderful.
Hello everybody, I'm Nathalie Huet. I work at The Future is Neutral, in charge of making a circular economy within automotive sectors, and I'm in charge of innovation dealing with circular economy, mobility and energy.
Wonderful.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm the Director of Business Development at Persistent Energy. We're an impact investor mostly focused on investments in and across Africa, focused on ag tech, circular economy, and renewable energy solutions.
Hi, my name is Jeremy. I work for EIT Manufacturing, the European Institute of Innovation and Technology. One of our activities is to support European startups within the manufacturing sector, and we help them to scale in Europe. And we help also corporates like JCDecaux and others to find the most innovative solutions to address the changes of manufacturing.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. You're all welcome, and thank you for your time and your expertise. Now, here's the deal. We're going to have 2 rounds with 5 pitches each. After each of those 5 pitches, we're going to have an 8-minute Q&A, and at the end, the opportunity to join us in the networking area for some mixing and mingling. But now, without further ado, I'd love to welcome the first changemaker/pitcher on stage, and that is Tim from VYTAL. Stage is yours.
So, hello everyone. Pleasure to be here, and super excited to see most of us drinking from reusable water cups. But also asking, who of you had a coffee today at the venue? Yes. So you certainly are aware that we can do more, right? We can also use reusable coffee cups, for example, because at a venue like this, it's actually easy. There's no inconvenience for all of us to use reusables, because we get it at the bar and then we drop it either in one of the bins that you see for the reusable water cups, or we drop it at near the exit in a dedicated bin. So actually, reuse is already here. Reuse is scalable. And what we do with VYTAL is we provide an operating system to make reusables scalable. So this means in our world, all containers have a unique ID. So maybe you've seen the QR codes that are on here. They're not unique, right? So this helps you not so much when tracking and tracing those containers. If we look at these cups, which we have produced together with Pepsi, they have a unique QR code and they have a unique RFID in the bottom. And this way, we can really make a cup traceable throughout the whole circular value chain. And this is key to really make it efficient. So our system really helps to scale up reusable solutions. And we have developed a tech platform that in the open system for gastronomists and canteens use super easy, because as a consumer, you either borrow cups and containers, food containers, with your credit card just by tapping. And if you don't return them within 14 days, you're charged. Guess what? We're humans. We love using stuff for free. We don't like so much paying for something. But what we really don't like is paying for something that we could use for free, right? Because then we feel stupid. So 99% of our containers return on average in less than 5 days. Together, so this I just mentioned. So together with 7,000 B2B locations and hundreds of thousands of consumers, we have already replaced 8.8 million in single-use items. Last year, we have generated revenues of 1.9 million. And if you're investors, I invite you, join us on this path. The circular economy is picking up. We expect to grow by 100x until 2030. And yeah, join us. We're vital for the planet. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Vital indeed. Okay, next up is Maurizio, and here he is. Thank you.
Hi.
Maurizio, tell us what your work is all about.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Yes. Nice to meet you. Raise your hands who never use a backpack. Everybody use a backpack. Listen, this is polyester. We are talking a problem of 76 million tons of polyester produced globally. So, among this, only 15% is recycled. Why? Because clothes are not recyclable. But we can do it. We can take clothes or plastic bottles, by the way, the same material, and we can recycle with an efficiency of 97% and cutting the emission CO2 by 80%. So it's quite good. How it works? Like that. We take bottles or we take textile, more than 200 we did. We depolymerize, we produce the building blocks, and on doing this, we remove contaminants, we put back together, and we produce virgin polyester. So a new bottle or new yarn. The market is huge, as you can imagine. It's the second most used plastic in the world. So evidently, the market is huge. But what we do, how we tackle this market, spreading around the technology in a licensing model, typical of our chemistry. So we're technology licensor, providing proprietary equipment, and we scale up the technology in the following years. We have already a demo plant operative. We are now launched the first industrial plant operational in 27, 3 years to build a chemical plant, 10 hectares, more than 250 million euros. That is reality. And then we scale up with 2, 4, and so on plant in our rollout plant. We started many years ago. Developing chemistry is hard, but persistency, we can do it with many partners. Up, you see our investors, big corporations. On the bottom, of course, I cannot disclose all the logos, but you can imagine whatever brand you use of textile works with us. At the end, why I'm here? Because I'm launching the round B. We need 10 million euros. By the way, this is the last chance, because from the round C, no more fundraising, because we're going to be positive. So 10 million euros to do all this, and of course, to go for the industrial plant. Thank you very much. I'll wait for you.
Thank you. No lack of confidence there. That's good. It's what we need as entrepreneurs. Niels is up next from ProServation.
Yes.
Your time to shine. Join us.
Thank you. Hi, I am Niels, one of the 4 co-founders of ProServation, and we're all about packaging with reason. Many fossil-based common packaging materials are just not reasonable. Styrofoam, for example, is lasting hundreds of years on our planet, while it's used only for a few weeks for the transportation. And afterwards, it's just waste, but it's not going to get recycled really good. So why are we producing everlasting waste for just a short period of time? Why aren't we repurposing agricultural waste streams to prevent plastic packaging waste? That's what we ask ourselves, and here is the answer. Grain husks. These are the natural shells of the grain. They accrue in large quantities at local mills. And together with our organic binder, we are able to create form-fitted cushioning materials that use the natural grown cavities of the grain husks for its cushioning and insulating and lightweight properties. We are able to produce or to develop individual inlays in a short period of time and without the need to buy expensive production molds. And these inlays will inspire your customer and are truly unique. Our goal is to reach the maximum positive impact, and therefore we want to license our production process to suitable partners all over the world, because not only the spelt husks we are using right now, but also other grain types are feasible for our technology and our material, and therefore a global scaling is possible. We just closed our crowdfunding campaign of a little over more than 600,000 euros, and this should be only the starting signal for our seed round. So right now we're looking for another 1 million to put our demonstrator plant into operation, expand the team, and take all the necessary steps to launch our license model. We are a group of 4 people in the founding team, and we're all attending here this event. Our stand is over there, and we are very happy to talk to you about a potential investment or about the opportunities of our material usable for your product, for your fragile product. And in that way, we are going to contribute to a world in which every packaging material is not just economically, but also ecologically reasonable. Thank you very much.
That was Niels from ProServation, and congratulations on the closure of your crowd investment campaign. Next up is Alexandra from Toopi Organics. What that is all about, she'll tell us. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexandra and I am CEO of Toopi Organics. do you know that we all pee in drinkable water? And do you know that your body concentrates precious nutrients in this urine? Recycling urine could save the world. And it's Nature, one of the best scientific journals, who says it. Why? Because urine diversion could lower greenhouse gas emissions by up to 47%, energy consumptions by up to 41%, save freshwater use with about a half, and reduce nutrient pollution by up to 64%. Well, yes, but how? The first idea would be to use urine as a direct fertilizer. This has no techno-economic possibility, because you would have to use more than 10,000 liters of urine to fertilize crops. So that's not what we do. We are an agtech, and what we do is collecting human urine to transform it into a highly concentrated biostimulant that will replace mineral fertilizers. So how do we do it? We collect human urine through men and women urinals in music festivals, in gas stations, and then we carry it to our first fermentation plant in the south of France. And then, thanks to a unique and patented process, we transform it into a highly concentrated microbial biosolutions. Our first product, called Toopi Start, helps crops to catch nutrients with more efficacy and to promote the roots growth. When a farmer uses our product, he reduces his mineral fertilizers by about a half. He keeps the same yield, he saves money, and he saves greenhouse gas emissions. The second way to use our product is to keep the same mineral fertilizers, but to use our product as an additive, and then farmers increase their yield and earn money. We are 36 people today. We have secured more than 2 million liters of urine per year. We own the first urine fermentation plant, and we will have a huge impact on water preserving, on greenhouse gas emissions preserving. Thank you for your attention.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Saving the world 1p at a time. It's good to know that that's possible. Thanks for the work that you do. We have Julia up next from Circular Place. Stage is yours. Thank you.
So thank you very much for being here. I'm very glad to be around you today. Sorry, I went too fast. We have already integrated circular economy in our daily life as individuals. And I mean, why shouldn't we? It's simply easier, cheaper, and of course, more sustainable. And if you're like 80% of French people, you have probably already bought or sold a second-hand item online over the past year. And you did that because the B2C marketplaces are designed for that. B2C marketplaces are designed for circular economy. And even though the B2B market is 5 times cheaper than the B2C market, businesses still struggle to engage in circular economy. At Circular Place, we believe that is because of a lack of appropriate tools and not because of a lack of engagement. We're looking at a market size that is monumental. We're talking about over 110 billion euros at a European scale. And that is why today I'm very glad to present to you Circular Place, the ultimate all-in-one platform for companies to optimize asset management. How do we do that? Well, our one-in-all platform allows companies to either exchange products internally or sell and donate them to external stakeholders. What kind of products, what kind of items are we talking about? Well, our platform was designed to meet the diverse needs of our clients, and that is why our platform allows companies to integrate all kinds of products, whether it is an equipment, raw materials, or finished products. We can take care of that, and our clients love it. Not only with Circular Place, they get to engage a circular community, but they can also track each and every one of their transactions on the platform and their carbon impact. We're a diverse team of 11 people. Our CEO and CTO have 30 years of combined experience in web development and circular economy, and we're backed by the best actors in the business, such as Techstars, Microsoft, and the French Sustainable Agency, with whom we have co-developed an impact calculator, and we're currently boosting that with Microsoft AI engineers. Since the launch of our very first SaaS platform last summer, we have already saved, we're planning to save 900,000 items of equipment by the end of the year, but we already have over 15K active users on the platform. And just last Friday, we have signed our new shareholders agreement because we just raised funds. So by the end of the year, we're planning to have over 1 million euros in revenues, and next year we're going international. Donate status.
Wonderful. Thank you. You can stay with me on stage. I'd like to ask the other 4 pitchers to come rejoin us. We have about 7 or 8 minutes. To my right, please, because of the camera. Yep, thank you. From here, please. Yeah, thank you. And we'll do this popcorn style. Whenever you're ready, you pop and you ask your question in no particular order. I see you holding the mic, so please, yeah.
For Circular Place, what makes you so unique, and who are your clients? And also, I would like to understand your focus. Which market is your priority?
Okay, that's 3 questions in one. I will address one of them. I will address them one by one. Who is our main target? It's large corporations. Right now, we're targeting French companies, but we're planning to go international by next year. And since most of our clients are multinational companies, they are asking us to go international by next year. Then, what kind of business model what makes us unique? Yeah. Well, we're the only all-in-one platform on the market. We have competitors, but our competitors are very specialized. We have competitors that only do donations. We have competitors that only do internal exchange. And we have competitors, for example, that only treat, electronic products. We are the only platform that allows companies with diverse needs to address each and every one of them. And the third one was, I'm sorry?
Oh, that's it. That's okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, next question. Mm-hmm.
Hello, my question is for preservation. What is the cost of your product, how competitive it is regarding competition or the material, and about the resistance, especially regarding humidity?
Yes, thank you very much. So first of all, our product right now is more expensive due to personnel costs, since our production is not yet scaled up. But we are already competitive in small-scale batches because our production molds are 3D printed, and therefore you don't need to have a high initial costs on that. And the other question?
Resistance, especially with humidity.
Yeah, our material is resistant to humidity in the air to up to 75%. And if it gets wet and it stays in wet conditions, of course, the degradation will start because we designed for that.
Thanks for your presentation. Question for VYTAL. I have to admit that when I was a student, I was not a good client for you because I like collecting cups from every festival I was going to, made a pile of cups. Compared to that, seen from France, it seems that in Germany it would be easier to implement a deposit system like this. What's your take on treating local culture between France, Germany, and other countries?
So I think there are a couple of things that you mentioned. So first of all, we're not a deposit system. So you borrow our cups for free, not paying anything, but we charge you if you keep them longer than 2 weeks. This allows us to achieve this high return rate, right? Seeing differences across countries, I think yes, the German consumers, they have an advantage when it comes to reusables because they know reusable beer bottles, water bottles, and so on. And this is also why it's actually a location advantage for us to be present there mostly. But then again, when we look at other countries, and especially if they look at copying Germany's reusable bottle system, for example, they should not copy the decades-old system that we have there with deposits, but a new one like VYTAL with serialized containers. And this allows you to also engage individually with consumers, which opens up a whole new lever that we need to take to accompany consumers on this behavioral change, because this will be needed. And this behavioral change is the easiest in venues like this, in large settings like this. And because you mentioned branded cups, right? We are very proud that we talked the UEFA, Coca-Cola, and Bitburger beer, the beer brewery, out of having branded cups at the Fan Fest for the Euro Championship in Berlin this year, and will supply them with unbranded VYTAL cups.
Yes, please.
Yes, question for you, please. So, I have different questions. Sorry, where are you sourcing your raw material, and what are your main sectors for using the PET granules, please?
Well, everybody wants to send to us some waste. That's for free. That's clear. So we source. We are very tolerant to contaminants. So we do with the 30% of contamination. So for example, we did Alcantara. I don't know if you know this material containing 30% of polyurethanes. So typically we can receive post-consumer material and also post-industrial, no problem. It depends. It depends. We have secured at the moment for the plant in Spain more than 400,000 tons of material for depolymerization, not only on textile, but also discharged material from mechanical recycling of polyester, because the mechanical recycling produces some discharge, and this is material for us. So we are just before this generation.
And you use PET for what kind of sectors?
It depends on the final, because we produce virgin PET. So we did several times. So we take textile and we produce food grade. So no problem. Typical of PET industry, produce one kind of PET and then they go for different applications.
Thank you. Question from over here.
Yes, I have also a question on feedstock for Toopi Organics. How do you make sure you have access to the feedstock, and how do you grow your raw material or feedstock, the P?
We have a European partnership with NGOs to collect urine on music festivals, and with Vinci Autoroute to collect urine on rest areas.
And this will be enough to ensure the growth of your activity?
Yes, because to provide the whole French need for agriculture, we need less than 1% of the urine emitted. So we can do many, many more things with P.
Thank you.
Wow, good statistics.
You should come to the Cologne Carnival.
Yeah. That's the next 10 years of German agriculture sorted.
We collect the beer festival in Barcelona already.
Beer festival? Yeah. They will use the reusable cups as well this year.
Oh, that's actual circular economy here. Very good. Yeah, over here, maybe one or two last questions.
One last question. So first of all, thanks everyone for the very good pitch. Another question for you, Alexandra. Could you elaborate on your price competitiveness compared to other products on the market?
Yes. Compared to mineral fertilizer, we are less expensive, and compared to other biostimulants, it depends on the kind of crops. On commodity crops, we are a medium price, and on specific crops like vineyards, we are less expensive.
Wonderful. Running out of time anyway, so seeing no hands. Well, with this, please put up your hands and give these entrepreneurs a wonderful round of applause. Thank you so much. And we'll see you again at the end of the session in the networking area. Now, without further ado, we're on a tight schedule. There's another 5 amazing changemakers waiting to share their innovations with us. And first up is Barry Steele from Bioregion Institute. It'll only work on here.
Oh, it only works here?
Yeah.
Learning already. Thank you. Yeah, my name's Barry. I'm actually coming in from Norway today, in Bergen. I represent the Bioregion Institute. I'm leading the first commercial spin-out that we have. What Bioregion Institute is a place where we develop research biomaterial and look for products. I promise I'd never seen VYTAL's presentation before, but where they were more than a cup, we are more than a pot. I actually wanted to say the pot that changed the world, but my communications person says that's not allowed. So we're going to stick with it's more than a pot. Why am I here? So every year in Norway, they produce 4,000 tons of wool. 20 to 30% of that is actually discarded because it's described as low grade. And the worst thing in the world happens, they just bury it or they burn it on the farm because there's no financial incentive. So what we're doing is, what's that, 4,000 tons? If you look at that globally, it's about 1.5 million tons of waste wool that just doesn't see anywhere. What we have done at Bioregion is we've managed to develop a fantastic way to use this wool. But we've looked at the local region and we've seen how we can improve it. What we can see is that there's 10,000 tons of plastic pots that are discarded every year in Norway alone. Most of those pots are only used one time because they're worried about moving disease between each of the plants. So what we're doing is actually trying to take 10% of that market, which is actually quite huge. By doing that, we're making a pot using an algae binder to be able to plant straight in the ground that degrades within 3 to 6 months. So you don't actually need to take the plant out the pot. You can actually put it straight in the ground and leave it. There's also a lot of, everybody talks about the fertilizer properties, everything like this, especially with the algae. But also, it's less labor intensive. You don't get plant root shock when you take the plant out. So there's a lot of opportunities for us. We've been actually working very much with our partners on developing this, taking this out of the laboratory and actually understanding how we can work with it. To much success. We are slightly higher than what a plastic pot would cost, obviously, because we have low-scale production techniques. But our partners are willing to pay that extra cost. So we actually have a lot of B2B working with municipalities who want to work with us. Come by me and have a chat about it, and I will tell you about the secret which will make us be able to take this further and make it possible for farmers to make more money. These are our partners. And this is where you can find us, and this is how beautiful the pot is.
Right on time. Thank you, Barry. Next up is the Revival Earth, represented by David. Hello, David.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity. My name is Yara Agbufa. Sorry. And I am the founder and director for the Revival. We are a Ghana-based organization that is focused on dealing and addressing the textile waste, global textile waste issue currently happening. Now, this image you see here is something I see. I pass by this every morning when I'm going to work. And what you see there is textile waste. And a lot of the clothes that you see in there are clothes from the global north. So many clothes, huge quantities of clothes come sent to Ghana through the second-hand trade, and a lot of them, about 40%, we receive about 180,000 tons, and about 40% goes to waste. Now, we don't have the facilities in Ghana to deal with these situations. So what happens is that it becomes waste. It goes through our oceans. Our beaches are very dirty in Ghana. In Accra, which is the capital, you don't have a clean beach to play or to run around. Also, landfills are filled with clothing, like you see here. Next. Yes, so these are some data, and what are we doing about it? That's where the Revival comes in. So upcycling, awareness, and education. And in all this, we create opportunity from waste. Now, how do we do this? We've been doing this since 2018, and our impact has been amazing. We've been able to divert over 1 million clothing from landfill and the ocean. And this has been done through community engagement, and we've also educated over 2,500 students globally. And this is through our free online courses that we develop, which is available to everybody in the world. We do lectures, and we have a lot of collaborations and partnership with universities globally. Now, the business model for this organization is clear. Since 2019, and into 2023, we've been able to make some profit from selling products, which is upcycled product. Images you see here are products that are in the UK, which is a partnership with the Victoria and Albert Museum. And this project has a scalability. It's obvious that we have the modular infrastructure that this can be replicated in different parts of the world and different regions of the world. And it's very innovative and adaptable. Now, we've had so many collaborations from different parts of the world because the problem is global. It's not just about global south or global north. So then we need all hands on deck. So we have collaborations from different parts of the world. And then we have a very strong team of expertise and professionals in different fields of education and fashion and academia in general. Now, wow, okay, thank you. Please see me, and then we have more conversation.
Thank you so much. You can pass it on to the next one. Thank you so much, David, for this wonderful and really important work. Next up is Freya from ParaStruct.
Thank you. So for the next couple of minutes, I'd like to ask you to lend me the power of your imagination. Imagine a world without the need for mining and landfilling, without their inherent threat to biodiversity. A world where a sustainable architecture is affordable for everyone, and where circularity does not live a niche existence, but is a standard. Imagine that's Inigo. He's the process manager of a refractory company, and he's desperately seeking for a solution for the huge piles of byproduct they heap up in their backyard. Imagine that's Roxanne. She's a young, gifted architect, and she would love to offer her clients wonderful designs, but as her clients are just normal people, she has no choice than building rectangular boxes. Imagine that's Kriemhild. She works at a 3D printer manufacturer, and instead of using plastics all the time, she would love to offer her clients also recyclable materials. At ParaStruct, we can imagine a solution for all these problems. And it's not only imagination, but it's become a reality just now. So ParaStruct brings them all together with its circular solutions for construction and manufacturing industries. So we develop circular materials, applications, and processes with which industries can valorize their waste, meaning cash to trash. So starting from all different kinds of unusable waste streams, even mixed and inconsistent ones, we develop suitable recipes. These can then be used for conventional processes, but we prefer to process them with high-speed 3D printers. And through our core technology, the recycling process, the components produced this way can be transformed into secondary raw materials and used again and again instead of virgin materials. Our IP in this process is on the material platform, on the patent and circular applications, and on the recycling. And what sets us apart is our unique knowledge and materials and on how to combine them with these low-carbon circular binders. But it's also our expertise in developing large industrial 3D printers. And in the end, or most relevant, through our recycling process, it's possible to produce fully circular construction components and materials that are absolutely competitive in price to conventional ones. And through our licensing business model, we're able to scale globally. So in the end, imagine also the impacts of our solution. The environmental ones, such as reduction of landfilling and resource extraction, material savings, and the reduction of emissions. But we will also make sustainable and circular building products affordable and suitable for mass use. So if this sparks your interest in an unattractive but yet important topic like construction waste, I'm happy to talk to you in more detail. And together, we can make the built environment circular and sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Freya. Up next, and you see we're quite tight and a firework of ideas here today, we have Jeffrey from Sparica.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey. I'm the founder and CEO of Sparica. Imagine a world where you can diminish the waste just by extending the lifetime of your appliances. This is not just a dream. It's the reality we are creating with Sparica, the first repair platform. With this repair platform, we can help people to find the right things to do to fix their appliances with less delay and less cheaper and quicker. The issue is alarming. In one hand, you have 28 million devices in France every year breaks down. And in the other end, only 30% of them are saved. Why? Because of a too high price. The average price is 130. And with Sparica, in 3 steps, we aim to go to repair your device for 30 euros. How it works? 3 steps. First step, diagnosis. We create a repair platform with video calls with technicians. We have more than 100 technicians allowed to directly do a video calls with you in diagnosis in less than 1 hour. You can book it in less than 1 hour. Second step, you will find the spare parts directly on our database. We have more than 1.2 million spare parts available. And third steps, we have the biggest repair channel on YouTube. We have more than 1,000 tutorials, which is more or less 2 million people every month who are watching these videos. Of course, we help people to fix with a good price, but also we want to create a good environment. And we help students, we teach students directly in the school to know how to repair. So this is very important for us, and that's why we are big ups, and we repaired more than 2 million devices. Our growth is not only directly on the business, but also with a lot of partnership. We are working with B2C and B2B2C with world-class insurer in home and in home appliance. So please join us in our journey. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey. Up next is Lucas from ecorbio. Your time to shine and your 3 minutes start now. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks for the kind intro. I'll jump right into it if I get some slides. Yeah, thanks. Cool. So at ecorbio, we want to displace conventional chemicals with more sustainable ones. And as a first problem, we chose the industry of polyurethane. But you might be thinking, what is polyurethane? Is it some sort of niche market? I know Maurizio mentioned it, but it's actually quite widespread. We have it in our buildings, in our bedrooms, in our furniture, in our cars, in our materials that we use, even in our consumer goods. So the problem with these materials is that the ingredients needed to synthesize these polymers are still fossil-derived, whereas the upcoming bio alternatives are either food competitive or simply too expensive for all the industrial stakeholders to take up. So at ecorbio, we want to produce biopolyols, which are a key ingredient in polyurethane, that are much more sustainable. And we do it how? We want to produce it right here in Europe, way cheaper than the upcoming bio alternatives, and truly sustainable by making use of upcycling of waste. Until now, we've been validating the technology at a pilot scale, developing the R&D in Cyprus, which of course uncovered a lot of engineering challenges that we can overcome and a lot of opportunities for further know-how. And of course, it also gives us a much better idea of the production impacts and economy at scale. So, of course, this is a huge market, as mentioned. Just the polyols, the key ingredients, are more than 35 billion globally, and 10% of which are already biomass derived, a fraction that is quickly growing. And we want to be a big part of that, reaching a significant environmental impact by 2030. So averting greenhouse gases, more than 100,000 tons, while still generating a safe revenue for us to continue R&D and spreading out, making change in more sustainable materials. Of course, all of that is impossible with a great team. I'm happy that besides myself and my ambitious co-founder Panayotis, we have Electra as well, who keeps sure that we're accountable and on track with our budgets. Of course, Savas and Arestis, who make the magic happen at the pilot facility and overcome all the challenges. And finally, Michalis, who helps us keep really close with industrial stakeholders so that we keep developing towards that market fit and make sure that the impact that we have is instant and pragmatic. So this year we've been focused through mostly developing the downstream, the end product development, through taking part in a couple of European projects. But for next year, we're still raising a seed to upgrade our facility and test the local markets of Cyprus, Greece, in low context of market volumes. So for that, we're still closing our seed round, missing 300K, but already have secured some of it through national grants. Yeah, if any of that sounds interesting, we do want to collaborate with different technologies and in an integrated way, in a cascading way. So you can find us behind the scene. Thanks so much.
Wonderful. Please stay with me. We're going to the Q&A. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Same procedure as last time. I'd like to ask all the other pitchers to rejoin me towards my right for the camera and hand over the mic to the jury. Whoever wants to go, please ask away your questions.
First question for ecorbio. Hello, thank you. I have a question. Which kind of sector are you targeting to launch and experiment?
Yeah, thank you. Our first, can they hear me? Yeah. Our first target segment is the construction industry because it's one of the massive contributors. They use polyurethane in various applications, from thermal insulation, adhesives, binding, you name it. That's our first target market.
Question for Spareka here.
Yeah.
What's your main challenge now and how will you address it? I mean, challenge for scaling.
Yeah, sure. Well, we began the month of March with the bonus réparation from the States, and it will give us more or less 100,000 video calls this year. So I need to find all the technicians. This is my main matters, and we are aiming to recruit these technicians directly on LinkedIn, on the field, and it's something very hard to create this new kind of network.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
I have one. So again, thanks a lot for the great pitches. One question for ParaStruct, more on the. I understand you're sort of material development platform. So how do you handle IP? Do you still plan to own it, or how does that work?
So the material platform is basically a concept where we combine all our knowledge on the materials, but also, so the materials meaning the waste streams we gather, but also the binder materials. And by having this knowledge on how to combine them, we can then also, we can make presumptions what applications these materials can be used for. So this material platform is going to be kind of a database which we own. The materials themselves, the binder material, are not patentable, but the database, of course, is.
I have a question for the Revival Earth. Thanks for your presentation. I was wondering, like, when you show us your presentation, you showed a lot of logos with public organizations or museums also. I was wondering if you start working with the upstream part of the textile industry, such as brands, producers of garments.
That's the plan. We have not worked with any brands yet. The goal is to be able to work with them. We have reached out to a lot of them, but the emails just kept unread. So we're trying to look for other ways and strategies to get through to these people, because they are actually our main target, to be able to tackle the problem from the source, which is working with these big brands, which mainly are fast fashion brands, to be able to create a circular, proper circularity within the chain, the supply chain, because we are the recipient of everything they create.
Question for Sparika. One key point is to find the broken part, how you can help people to find the missing part, and if sadly it's totally broken, do you help people to find proper upcycle way to give the broken part, the broken apparel?
Yeah, sure. First, our diagnosis is with a video call with the tech. So it's the tech during 10 minutes in a video call who will find the origin of the breakdown. So if it's spare parts and we has the spare parts, because the spare parts is available on the market, we know that we can fix it. If the spare parts doesn't exist, or if the availability is too long, in this case, we will find a partner who will go inside the house and change with a refurbished device the appliance of the customer.
Please. I have a question for Willy Poot. I would like to understand the scalability, in fact, of your activity from a raw material or feedstock standpoint.
From a raw material standpoint?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we actually, we have the ability, low scale, we can make over like 3,000 pots, but of course if we want to take 10% of the market, we're talking more like 1 billion pots. There's absolutely enough wool in Norway to cover this, and there's enough leftover wool to cover this. What we're trying to do is to actually disrupt what's quite monopolistic behavior in the Norwegian market. But we found ways that we can actually offer more money and have less chance for the sheep farmers always look for subsidies, right, from the government, and we can actually like give them the cash that they don't need that and still maintain the price of the product. Our idea is very much that we're very much focused on our region. We're using all the raw materials from our region. Seaweed is a big component in the binder. Norway is the biggest producer of seaweed in Europe, so we have that. We make our own sodium alginate in-house, and we can scale that up. We don't need a lot of it. So we have everything on hand. What we want to do is we want to work with other regions and then not use our value chain, but to discuss how to use their value chain, because maybe they don't have wool, maybe they have less water. Like we're always working on like how do we use less water. These can retain water in a better way, so you need 60% less water in the nursery stage. So this is going to work in the south of Europe a lot more, but it's not about taking our thing and taking it around the world. It's about what do you have at your door. Let's lower everything down. So it's a super good opportunity. It's very scalable for Norway. It works very well in Sweden as well. But that's not to say that it will work in France. There will be another challenge. But we know the techniques, and we also understand the market. So we just want to find people who can be inspired to join, basically.
Thank you. Very clear.
Just to understand, because we saw the picture and it's quite manual. And do you plan to move to industrialization? But what's exactly the model? You want to create several small areas where you can produce, or bigger factories?
Well, so the company that we are is very, it's all about social inclusion as well and providing new industry and jobs for the market. We have absolutely low-scale techniques today. We received funding from a Norwegian area called Handelens Miljøfonden, which was very significant. As part of that funding, we actually have a plan to scale up into like a manufacturing technique, but we will get the support from the expertise on how to design the sort of chain of production, and then we will use that for the area. But we want to. In Norway, it's very difficult to get around, right? You got to jump on a boat, you got to jump on. So we want to actually consolidate everything in one place to keep the costs as low as possible, so that we can have this sort of regenerated industry in an area of Bergen which is actually not doing so well over the last 20 years. And they love the industry in Norway, so we want to jump on that and provide more jobs for people as well. So that's why I say it's more than a pot. It's actually so much more for the local area as well.
Wonderful. Very fast last question. We're running out of time.
Sure. Just a quick question for ParaStruct. the licensing model that you guys are looking at, is that revenue generating for you to outsource the science, like the chemical aspect of the conversion, or what is it exactly that you're licensing?
No, we're licensing our patented applications, for example. So there's a license fee of 5% on the product sales that our customers who produce our products generate with the sales of the product.
Wonderful. Right on time. Put your hands together for a round of applause to these wonderful entrepreneurs. Thank you so much. One last tiny task for the jury, which is to vote on your so-called coup de cœur, meaning you can send one of the 10 people that you saw up on stage again for another pitch. You'll be getting little sheets of paper to do that. And then I invite you all to meet up again and mix and mingle with the jury and other people in the networking area. And another big thank you to JCDecaux, who is a partner of this session. And I hope you enjoyed the inspiration. We're back here in just a couple of minutes, sharp at 4:30 for another round of pitches in the area of sports. Thank you.